Hello everyone, Div the Sunny Panda here, and welcome back to my playthrough of This is the Police. So, last episode, we were badass. We had a phone conversation with our wife's mom, and we basically told her that she's a bitch. Yeah, that just happened. Alright, so September 13th, Friday, the Golden Bird reports crocodile found in inner city river. Wow. Freeburg Tribune says farmer claims government poison harvest. Probably possible. And the fact says projectionist accidentally plays pawn at the last picture show. Well, that projectionist must have been having a ball of his time before it went all wrong. I'm too tired, I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? No, Porter, we need you. Burke, no, we need you also. Dovell says I'm too Dovell is drunk too. No, you can't go home. I'm suffering. Smith says I'm suffering an extremely severe anxiety attack and I can't concentrate on anything. Can I go home? Smith has a reasonable reason. I'm too tired. I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? No, Samadhi. Gibbons says I am too tired. I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? No. Everyone is too tired and can hardly walk straight. But I need officers on the shift. What am I going to do without the officers? If I would have agreed to give them all an off, I would be left with just 3 officers for this shift. I don't care if they're too tired to walk. Let them sleep on their day off. From the City Hall for LGB protest. For several years, we have constantly been pestered by LGB organization with its constant whining about gay rights. What? Is that whining? Okay. Recently, things have been relatively quiet, but last week, 3 high school teachers were fired under laws banning the promotion of homosexuality among adolescents. These teachers spread LGBT brochures among our school children, teaching them tolerance. So how is that a crime? That's actually good. We dismissed them fairly and according to the laws. The law needs to be changed. But activists are gathered outside the school, rioting in protest. The children aren't there to learn about men kissing and all the rest of their circus. The participants need to be taught a lesson so they'll think twice next time they climb out of their halls. And the mayor wants re-election. He wants to stand again. What? Come on. This is bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. LGBT protests. 150 gays and lesbians have gathered at the school demanding to talk with the administration. The headmaster refused to open a dialogue and lock himself in his office. You have to send 4 as officers, SWAT, and a paddy wagon. So there's no option. Alright. We'll send Buck Jr., Dovell, Samadhi, and Reed along with the SWAT and the paddy wagon. But we are not going. Oh. Evidence against the church. We forged a letter complete with the church seal listing secrets that you supposedly shared in confessional a few years ago. We'll redact it so prosecutors won't get any compromising information. And we'll add a postscript in which the bishop allegedly requires you to punish the sodomites, threatening otherwise to disclose your list of sins. Jack, the teachers were actually fired according to local law, barbaric as it is. However, the protesters have a right to assemble and express themselves as long as no one is in danger. I have a couple of ideas about how you can cover yourself if things go sideways. What if we don't suppress the protest by force? City Hall is going to be pissed with us, but I don't want to spend money to cover my ass and then suppress the protest with force. Threatening phone calls in the suburb. Old Pat Getz said this is the second time a man called her on her phone and threatened her, saying he's going to feed lead to her whole family. I heard some men laughing in the background, talking about how they can't wait to finally try out the new machine guns on live targets, says Mrs. Paget. I'm quite a well-known political activist in Freeburg, so the threats could be related to my work. I don't think the threats are related to your work. Maybe it is a prank, but we'll respond with 3 of our officers. We don't have SWAT to respond to it because they're attending the riot call. But, well, I just hope none of them die. Officer Prado, Officer Gibbons, and Officer Robbins. Suppress the protest by force? No. The City Hall can be angry for all it wants. I don't care. But I'm not suppressing protest by force. They require backup, but I'm going to refuse it. Offender has escaped, but the officers are unharmed and civilians are unharmed, so it's fine. It didn't go as bad as it could. Threatening phone calls. We got loot, automatic weapon found. We'll bring it back to the police station. Oh my god, 2 calls at the same time. Okay. We'll wait on as long as we can. We have to respond to the prostitution call first. Just this is time management at its best. Okay, Route 22 prostitution. Russell Slifer is enraged at the presence of prostitutes along a road on the outskirts of the city. Apparently, there are a dozen prostitutes lined up and they're practically throwing themselves at passing vehicles. Some are exposing their breasts and asses in an attempt to attract customers. Can't blame it, that's marketing right there. Get over here right away and deal with this shamelessness. Alright. Samadhi, Dowell, Birchnow and Reed along with the paddy wagon, they go out to deal with this while we respond to a horrific case of child molestation in the Freeburg High School. Schoolgirl Kathleen Campos said that her friend Stacy Peng gave the teacher a greeting card decorated with a heart, and the teacher made an obscene joke and told her to come to his office after school. I pretended that I was leaving, but then I went back to listen at the door, the frightened girl continued. First they were talking quietly, but then there was a commotion and screaming and crying. Okay, this seems serious, so Prado, Gibbons and Robbins, all three of you, out you go. I just hope that's not a false alarm, because we have sent out all of our force except Burke Jr. here. Oh my god. Phyllis Dowell was killed in a car accident. According to preliminary reports, it appears she was drunk. Well, Dowell, it's okay. We need to get rid of these shit officers and get ourselves some good officers. And that's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm not upset. Mass riot in the Desire Park, child molestation. Through the glass doors, you can see a male figure trying to climb on top of a struggling woman who he's thrown onto a couch. The schoolgirl is crying loudly. Knock loudly on the door and order the man to open it. Go to the school's principal. Go get the school's principal and knock loudly on the door and ask the man to open it. What? Okay, that was I'm making some wrong decisions today. Offender caught, officers unharmed, and yeah, good job, Samadhi and Reed. Mass riot. A hysterical young person just called in shouting, "Good God, the prophecy has come to pass. Dozens of zombies are roaming the park just like from the movies. Oh my God, vampires, Freeburg is doomed. Send in the National Guard." Yeah, that's a false alarm. That's definitely a false alarm. So Dowell died while DUI, and that's a police officer. A man was frightened by a horror film festival. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a false alarm. No way that vampires and zombies are roaming Freeburg. This isn't that kind of game. As far as I know, I don't know if all of Freeburg turns into a zombie at the moment. Domestic disturbance in residential area. Mrs. Kazmi complains that her neighbors are arguing very intensely. They're a young, hothead couple, and it looks like they're about to come to blows. Alright, Gibbons and Reed, off you go. They can handle domestic call. We don't need to send out 3 officers for a domestic call. Our investigations are still ongoing, so the mayor himself, Jack, you swore an oath to serve the city. If you can't keep your promises, we won't keep ours. Mayor, I kept my promise to the city. I didn't keep my promise to you. Suspicious individual at Desire Park. A woman says she was out for an evening jog and she noticed a black guy in a hood following behind her. I was able to get away from him, but I'm afraid this bastard is still lurking in the park, waiting for one of the other girls. That's a false alarm. So someone is being clearly racist there. And the man with the hood is just trying to have her on. Why can't you have her on? No one was quarreling. The man was working out to a loud TV. The woman was making a salad, cut her finger rather badly, and was running to her neighbors to call an ambulance. Her husband was only trying to stop the bleeding with the towel. Okay, that was a false alarm, and we sent out Gibbons and Reed. Attempted murder at the playground. Hurry! There's some guys here who caught a transvestite and decided they'd work him over. They stripped off the guy's tights and they're acting like they're going to lynch him with them. They say they're going to hang him over the bar. Okay, that's bad. Prado, Robbins, and Samadhi, off you go. Just today we had an LGBT gathering. So this could be a reaction to that, and it sounds serious. So we're responding with 3 of our best. Samadhi, of course, is a suspicious individual. The man in question is a medical student who also runs at night. See, look at that. That's what this racial profiling. Hit and run report. No frames found. Who is the detective on this? I think we already have all the frames. I need to sort out some of these investigations. We got 3 new frames for the drug sale. Okay, so we know what happened here. The red guy is dead. Green guy rather. So we still need frames because he's wearing a red shirt in 2 of them. I need the guy in the jacket up to no good. Yeah, it's a green guy, not a red jacket. So we need some more frames, I guess. At least 1 more frame. So we'll let that go on. We'll let that go on, and we need to get some in theft, hit and run, drug sales. We will solve these 100% in the coming days. I'm going to get to that. Okay, Gibbons and Reed can... Yeah, I think this is the last call of the day, so let's send out reinforcements. The attempted murder required reinforcement, and when they've called for reinforcement, it's better to comply if we can. And I knew that was going to be the last call of the day because time was extending. So let's hope that it all ends well. Report, yeah, good. Offender caught, officers unharmed, and civilians unharmed. That's good. All right, let's end the day. We need to do some paperwork for this dead employee. Yeah, declare Dowell as dead, and let's end the day. Checkpoint. Day 62. Rogers is responsible for Freeburg PD breakdown. Yes, he is. Mayor Rogers displeased with police department. Yeah, well, Mayor can... F himself. Crazy Arms film flop. Okay. The fact is like the most away from the truth. It's always positive.
All the information about Laura, just like you asked.
Mr. Boyd, keep your voice down. Someone could be listening.
Oh, I'm sorry, Emma. It's my first time doing something like this. Here's the envelope. Everything's in there.
Fine. Mr. Boyd, please write for Mr. Fry on this envelope and drop it in the mailbox across the street.
What? I don't want this handled like it's some kind of game.
Mr. Boyd, those are the rules. Now please, lower your voice.
Fine. Okay, Emma. I'll put this envelope in the mailbox across the street, just like you said.
He's purposely being loud.
Wonder how that damn Mr. Fry is going to get an envelope out of the mailbox.
Talking to yourself, Mr. Boyd? And we thought we'd have to catch you at the police station. But it turns out Jack Boyd has come down to meet us personally. Do you know why we're here, Mr. Boyd?
I don't even know who you are.
My name is Eugene Chaffee. I'm a businessman. Rather, a restaurateur. Although I usually tell everyone I'm a businessman. Which sounds better? Businessman or restaurateur?
Oh, I think I've heard of you. You have a restaurant and a slaughterhouse. And you serve refried veal steaks.
Well, refried veal steaks isn't my only business. But perhaps it's what I'm best known for. I thought it was time we meet Mr. Boyd, and my friend here. I believe you're already acquainted. His name is Troy Starr.
Never heard of him. So what do you want, Mr. Chaffee? Looking for a spokesman for your beef products? I recently changed my image and my hair.
Eugene and I really want to help you, Mr. Boyd. Although after our phone call, I've had my doubts. I was making love to my wife, and you called me and told me to fuck myself. That kind of behavior is rude and inappropriate, Mr. Boyd.
I didn't mean to offend you, Mr. Starr. Just thumbing my nose at that prick mayor of ours. You keep making love to your wife, or did I ruin the mood?
There's a nice cafe around the corner. Spare us a couple of minutes of your time, Mr. Boyd.
What's going on? Are we plotting against the
Lately,
mayor?
I've been so busy that I rarely get to sit and relax in such a nice place. And with such interesting company.
Get to the point, Mr. Chaffee. I'm busy too. In fact, I think I hear some teenagers next door robbing and raping an old woman. Maybe she's your aunt.
You see, Mr. Boyd.
Good morning. What do you want?
A big mug of beer.
We don't serve big mugs of beer.
Then a small mug of beer.
We don't have beer in any size glasses. This is a family restaurant. Moms and dads come with small children. I can bring you a lollipop to suck on.
Monica, where's your famous charm? Bring the gentleman a beer. I'm sure you've got a bottle under the counter. Check between the dead cats and the dried heads of your ex-boyfriends. This man, by the way, is your police chief.
Don't be silly. The police chief has a bald spot the size of a toilet seat.
So, as I were...
Oh, I'm sorry, Eugene. It's Rogers. Probably forgot how to wipe his ass.
When you're 82, Troy, you'll probably forget you need to wipe your ass at all. But very well, run along. We can continue without you. So, Mr. Boyd, as you may already know, the official job of my old friend Mr. Starr is to cause trouble for you. But believe me, it's not out of malice. It's to maintain his cover at City Hall. But to somewhat balance out this trouble, I've decided to help you out. Every day, pay close attention to your morning newspaper, Mr. Boyd.
Oh.
You'll find messages hidden among the pages. Simple notes, but make no mistake, the information you'll find there is extremely useful. You see, Troy Starr isn't my only spy. That's it, Mr. Boyd. I told you it would only take a couple of minutes. I wouldn't want to disturb you while you're enjoying your drink. Keep in touch, my dear little cupcake. Oh, yes, I'm quite good at puns.
Never imagined what meeting Robespierre would be like. But I certainly didn't figure the first thing he'd do was buy me a drink. Getting them to serve a beer at a family cafe? And this Robespierre has some strange superpowers. Strange, but not entirely useless.
Well, okay, that was a weird little interaction. I'm too tired, I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? No, Armstrong. Let's start the day. Yeah, let's play something at the start. It's always good to get some music right at the start of the day. I'm lagging behind with my investigations. I don't know what to do with them. I'm sure this theft this is almost I'm missing something. Alright, let's see if we can solve it. Alright, I went for lunch at 1. Let's remove all the frames. Let's remove all the frames. There you go. I went for lunch at 1. A couple of minutes later, the lights went out. I shut the door behind me. I remembered that I bumped into the janitor's car that was standing in the hallway, says the pharmacist. Mr. Marcus says, I suspect the student Aaron Jones. He has come by the hospital several times in a state of confusion with red searching eyes, dragging his huge backpack behind him, but it never occurred to me that he might be an addict. Mr. Jones says, I was in the bathroom when the lights went out. The only thing I saw is what we normally see while sitting on the toilet. Oh, and then a janitor came into the restroom with his card. I heard him emptying the bin. Then the lights came on and I went to the head physician's office for a signature. But he wasn't there. Mr. Bodnar says, yes, I have the keys to the pharmacy. I wash the floors there just like everywhere else. But I don't have access to the electrical panel. Only my superiors have those keys. And here's another mystery. What happened to my garbage bags? Someone took them out of my truck and I can't find them anywhere. Surveillance camera says the last frame before the film cuts out showed the janitor going down the corridor. His cart standing near the door to the hospital pharmacy. It might be the janitor then. We don't have enough frames for the janitor either. Okay. Let's say Mr. Rodriguez says I went for lunch at 1. Alright. So he locks the door and goes for lunch. Janitor breaks in, clears it out. No, it doesn't make sense for the janitor to be the one who is doing the stealing. Doesn't make sense at all for the janitor to do it. It has to be the pharmacist. And I think I have the correct panels too. So he cuts the power. He goes into the room. Okay. Does he steal it first? No. I feel I have the panels right, but I need to work it out. It is the pharmacist. I'm 100% sure of that. The power was cut and a trash bag was stolen out. Right? I'm going to let it continue. I don't know anymore. I can hire an officer, and I need an officer for shift A because we lost someone yesterday. Okay, Maxim Powers is hired for shift A, and LOD Antenashi is hired for shift B. Perfect. Theft at the construction site. Elderly security guard Robert Childress saw 6 people break through a hole in the fence around a construction yard, climb onto the site, and start filling up a cart with bricks. At first, the guard was only worried about the stolen building materials, but soon the thieves started climbing into the more dangerous construction areas. He began to fear for their lives. These idiots are going to get themselves killed. You've got to hurry. Alright, Oshiro, Yancy, and Asano, off you go. I think it's fine. There wasn't a huge group. I had option of sending 6 officers, but 6 officers would be overkill for that situation, I feel. Robbery at the ghetto. A young man who had just been robbed called in a report. He came through the gate with a knife and demanded my wallet. I tried to run, but he caught me and pushed me to the ground. In addition to the wallet, he took my watch, shoes, and even my belt. My mother gave that to me. Alright, Kochi, Jensen, and Cross. Yeah, off you go. Kochi has enough professionalism to make up for their lack of professionalism. One of the suspects was running around and almost fell down an elevator shaft. He's standing right next to the edge, and there's terror in his eyes. Push the suspect into the elevator shaft. Easy, kids, it's a long way down. Let's say, easy, kids, it's a long way down. Oshiro in his voice, easy, kid, it's a long way down. And then the kid realizes, yeah, we need to stop the hoovering around what they're doing. Drug possession at Eddie's Burgers. Eleanor Compton went to wash her hands before eating, but wandered into the cafe's kitchen by mistake. I looked around and saw several bags of white powder. I know cocaine a mile away. I watch TV, yeah. That must be flour or something. That's a false alarm. She went into the kitchen and saw white powder. That's flour. That's what? Just from dash question mark. Mr. Boyd, you don't know me, and I suppose that's just as well. As for what I do, you probably wouldn't approve, so I won't trouble you with any unnecessary details and get straight to the point. For one specific, let's call it an operation. I need 3 dead police officers, 1 female and 2 male. Race and age don't matter. I'll return in a couple of days to collect the bodies. We wouldn't want them to start decomposing. What the heck? No way I'm fulfilling that psychopath's wishes. Mr. Compton saw several transparent bags filled with ordinary salt and mistook the contents for cocaine. I wouldn't have responded to that anyways. Robbery, offender caught, officers unharmed. Awesome job. Kochi is leading Jensen and Krause, and they're becoming professional police officers of my force, which is great to see. Animal assault at the suburb. A man just called in. His voice was high-pitched and he sounded hysterical. Hello, police? Some kind of beast broke into my apartment and it's running all over. God, 1 bite from this thing and I'm dead. Hurry. Yeah, well, that's another false alarm right there. So many false alarms. Must be a rat or a hamster or something. Or a cat. I don't know. But I'm not responding to that shit. If someone ends up dying there, I'm going to be... Double homicide at the Everyday Mall. An unidentified man who was unable to pay at the checkout reacted by killing the cashier, then the security guard, and fled the scene. Wow. I'm going to have to pull out my investigator from Armstrong from this case. Close. And I'll have Armstrong and Marlowe investigate this brutal assault. A large wasp got into the man's house. Yeah, I knew that. I guess it would be a rat or something, but Who would call police for a wasp entry into their house? Like FFS, just grab a spray, those one anti-insect sprays, and just get to it. Deal with it. Rape at the city center. Cynthia Jason filed a complaint against a workman at her building. It appears he's been very vulgar and follows her around. I've never seen a horrible jerk. Punish him. What? Is that? Does that? Well, I'm not going to question it. Oshiro and Yancy, off you go. Could be a false alarm again. We're having lots of false alarms today. Gotta pick our mafia assignment. Jack, you got into our business when you opened an investigation regarding dumb homicide. It would be better for the both of us if this whole thing is settled by 16:15. Hopefully, 3 will cover your expenses. Okay, can we just drop the investigation? No, we can't, but we can archive it, right? We had the details. Should we? Surveillance camera says the tall, middle-aged man was dressed in an unbuttoned grey coat and a white t-shirt. Upon entering the store, he went right for the alcohol, picked up a 6-pack of beer, and then headed to the checkout. Sylvia Arana says, I was standing right in front of this guy at the checkout. He seemed suspicious to me, and what a nasty smell. I got away from him as fast as I could, and on the way out, I told one of the guards to keep an eye on him. Mr. Mel Pape, the witness, says, I was in line with this guy. He obviously was in a hurry and very nervous. He handed the cashier his credit card, and when the cashier told him that the account was empty, he pulled his gun out and shot the poor girl in the head. Then the guard who was standing nearby tried to grab his gun, but the guy was too fast and he finished him off. Larry Pregola says, me and my partner Ron were talking when a woman came up and said we would watch the strange man at the checkout. Ron went over there, then I saw a flash and heard shots, and this guy was rushing the exit with his bear. I was in such shock that I didn't have time to do anything. Didn't even have a chance to get my gun out. Passerby said, I am about to go inside and suddenly this idiot jumps out and almost knocks me over. I didn't have time to yell anything. He just jumped on his bike and left. Can we just archive it? I don't want to lose my detectives. Thank you, says Christopher G. Thank you for doing what we asked. Here's the amount we agreed on. We can always open it up, right? From the archive. We can always reopen the case. I have a homicide pending too, so. Robert Devlin, Country Houses. I need 4 police today. It's a very important day for my daughter. She's getting married and I want everything to be perfect. I'm a very powerful businessman. We're talking the kind of success you can't get without making enemies. So no surprises today. I could do without any trouble. Fine. Cross, Jensen, Asano, and Little. We get some money and probably some free food for them. Maintenance worker Billy Sue, whose behavior Cynthia Jackson complained about, had only whistled as the girls passed by. Well, you could still pull him up for, say, let's not just pull him up and say, don't do that, right? Drug manufacturing in the suburb. According to an anonymous source, a house registered to Ernest Franklin is being used to produce and store large quantities of drugs. Mr. Franklin has a record a mile long, including illegal weapons and drug charges. Last time we had him in here, he just opened fire on some teenagers for climbing into his yard to retrieve a baseball. Wow. Alright, I don't think we can react to that though in time. We can. I was just lying. Look at those timing skills. Okay, our best officers are going out with the paddy wagon. I can't send this SWAT, but Austin, oh wow, I can't respond to this now. Disorderly conduct in the residential area. A woman called in speaking in awestruck praise. I hear from my wall the trumpeting of angels. Oh, the Lord comes. Behold his glory. The television was right. Thank God it's a false alarm. Boss, everything went perfectly. We started off serious, all business, but then the pretty girls all wanted to be photographed with us. We ended up eating cake with the newlyweds. It was a great day. All of them are drunk. $4,000, but all of them are fully recharged. So that's awesome. Christopher G. Sand calls, Jack, we are going to have a party and we want to trust you with the protection. Let my guys relax and have some drinks and tell your men to keep their heads off the butts of their guns. No, I can't send out the officers anyways today, so bye-bye. Alright, there's a disorderly conduct which we know is a false alarm, but we have a robbery at Mrs. Sofa Furniture Store. A passerby saw two strange men across the street smashing the shop window of Mrs. Sofa Furniture Store. Then they disappeared inside. Fine. We don't have officers to respond yet. I don't want to send out any of these officers because drug manufacturing requires backup, but we don't have anybody to send out. However, I trust Austin on the scene there. So offenders are caught, officers are unharmed, and civilians are unharmed. Great job. We found loot. Ficus. Okay, proceed. Bring to the police station. Robbery. Alright, we'll send out all of them. I mean, they are drunk. Something could go wrong. But I trust them. And if they are going out as 4, do they take up... Oh my god. Yeah, I shouldn't have sent her. So, the disorderly conduct was a false alarm, as expected. Public indecency in Queens Lewis nightclub. The club bouncer says they have detained a weird guy who took off his clothes and started molesting girls on the dance floor. Come pick this idiot up and haul him off. Fine, Kochi, off you go. I shouldn't have sent them off. I am such an idiot. A man and a woman are struggling to carry a luxurious couch through the broken window and into the room. Help them load it up, sit on the sofa, drop the furniture right there, and put your hands behind your head. Yeah, let's do that. Of course, he was alone out there, and I hope he doesn't end up dead while back on his way. Oh my god, what did I do? I'm at a loss for words. I knew they were drunk on duty. Rip Little, Rip Asano, Rip Jensen. I hope your families are not angry on me. That's it. Alright. I am sorry that ended up so badly. I should have been smarter, but that's fine. We'll continue this disaster of a journey as police chief of Freeburg next time. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment. Would love to hear from you. And yeah, bye-bye.